In this video, we're going to be talking about risk management. So, what is risk management, right? So, it is a decision-making process designed to basically identify systematically the hazards and the degree of risk, and again, determine the best course of action. Uh, what is a hazard? And in this video, we're gonna be covering some basic things. What is a hazard? So a hazard is a uh, preset condition, event, could be object, could be circumstance that could lead, or it can also contribute to an unplanned or undesired event, which is gonna become an accident. What are the several examples of the aviation hazards? Okay, so a couple of examples here is gonna be the weather, right? An unapproved hardware on the aircraft. It could be that pilot is tired. It's his fatigue is also a hazard. Improper refueling of an aircraft is a hazard. Uh, Maybe a nick in the propeller blade. That's gonna be termed as a hazard too. And what is risk? Risk is the future impact of a hazard that is not controlled or eliminated. Now we're going to be talking about the strategy PAVE, and actually this is not it's a checklist. And like, how can you use this checklist during flight planning in order to basically assess the risk? So this checklist, PAVE, it stands for P is for the pilot in command. So for him, the the risk assessment is going to involve his general health, his physical, mental, emotional state, and his proficiency, and also his currency. A stands for the aircraft. This was pilot. This is the aircraft. So airworthiness, all the equipment on the aircraft, the performance of the aircraft, the capability of the aircraft. Then we have V, right? So this is environment. So this is gonna involve the weather hazards, the terrain hazards, could be the anything related to the airports and runways, and the conditions in general. And the last E is for the external pressure. So that would be meetings, people wearing a destination, a desire to impress someone, those kind of things are gonna be the external pressures, and we need to assess all of them. Then we have another checklist other than the PAVE. It's called the personal minimums. So, and like basically we're gonna be talking about how can this help in the pilot risk control, uh, risk management, right? So first of all, you need to understand that one of the most important concepts that a safe pilots they understand is the difference between what is legal and what is smart or safe. A thing could be legal, but it is not safe. Just know the difference. And yeah, so a pilot can use the personal minimums for items in each risk category, and they can actually uh, basically these are the limits. unique to individual, unique to every. So everyone is gonna have a different personal minimums, which personal minimum checklist, depending on his proficiency, his experience. It may change. So basically, they're gonna keep an eye on that, and that's how they're gonna be uh, removing, or that's how they're gonna be managing the risk. Okay. Then uh, like they may ask you, okay, can you tell us one method which you can use in order to control and manage risk? So you can say yes, PAVE is one of the methods, and we discuss and we discuss about the PAVE, where this is the pilot, thinking about the pilot, thinking about the aircraft, thinking about the environment around you, and thinking about the external pressures. So that is one of the uh, examples or methods in order to control the risk. Okay, there's another checklist. It's no, called I am safe. This one is like, again, we need it to determine the personal risk and those kind of things. So I is gonna be illness. Then we have M, which is the medication. Then we've got the S, which is for the stress. Then we have alcohol. Then we have fatigue. Then we have emotions. Again, all of them are self explanatory. Basically, you're going to be thinking about, am I well enough to fly? Am I under any medications? Are things around me, or are there any family matters which are making me stressful? And do I feel very stressful? Am I under the influence? Am I very tired? Am I fully recovered from any extremely upsetting events if they happen to me? So anything related to the emotions. Okay, we did talk about the 3P. We're gonna be talking about a little bit more about it. Like, what is 3P, and how can it actually help uh, basically in the risk management? So last time we didn't cover what 3P really stands for. We said it is different than the other method, but 3P stands for perceive, it stands for process, then the third P is the perform. Again, I kind of gave an example there. You look at something, you first of all you have the feeling, then you process the information, and then you work on it, right? You think you are glide path, you are below glide path. You process that okay, what am I gonna do in order to correct that, and then you perform on it, right? So like, yeah. So uh, one example is that, again, yeah. So this is basically the 3P, and how it can help in the risk management, right? So it can help in risk management because, again, as the model states, that you're gonna be seeing something, you're gonna be processing it, and then based on that, you're gonna be making the decision. Maybe you feel you didn't have enough sleep, right? Basically, you feel lazy or unwilling to fly. You kind of process it and figure out, okay, you didn't have enough sleep, and then you make a safe decision of not flying on that day, right? Okay, the last thing I wanted to cover is like how often a pilot should use the 3P model or for the decision making, right? 3P model of the decision making throughout a flight. So remember that once a pilot has completed the 3P decision process and selected a course of action, the process begins again because the circumstances brought about by the course of action require analysis. So just remember that if you have processed something, right, you saw something, you processed it, and you made a decision, it's always a uh, uh, like what's the word? I was looking for the in control theory we have um, uh, we have a loop and it's a closed loop, right? It's not an open loop system. It's a closed loop system where you are you keep doing this 3P um, like the perceive, process, and perform again and again. It's not a one-time thing. It's a continuous loop. Just remember that. That's all I wanted to cover in this video. Thanks for watching.